All right, hey guys, so we're back here in the Alabama Hills once again. You can see we have some amazing scenery around us. This is a site that I've actually camped at before. You might have seen it in one of my previous videos. It's pretty awesome. All right, anyways, while I'm back here, I thought I would use this as a chance to show you guys the tool roll that I carry in my Jeep and what I keep inside of it. And let me show you right now where I keep it inside of the Jeep. So we got our Julka there, we're gonna look at that later. Some wine bottles, nowhere better to put those. So this is my goose gear plate system, and this is basically my garage area. And here is my tool roll, which has just enough. Let's set this down. All right, a little bit of a tight squeeze. There we have it. All right, let's go take a look at this. Okay, so this is my Atlas 46 Yorktown Tool Roll. I used to take this in and out of the Jeep just when I needed it or when I was going on trips, but since I've installed the goose gear system with the locking plates, it now lives in my Jeep full time. I've had this for about a year now, and it's been pretty helpful. It's held up pretty well. It actually still looks almost brand new. This is honestly pretty much all I use now. Even when I'm at home, if I need to do a Jeep project, I pretty much just grab this out of the Jeep because I already know it has everything I need to pretty much tighten or loosen any fastener on the Jeep. So you can see I got it in this really nice Coyote or a flat dark earth type color. It's really nice. It has these two handles which you can use together to move it, and then it has this one single clip that holds the whole thing together. You can see I keep a simple pair of like mechanics type tool gloves just in the middle. The tool roll has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pouches, 4 of these longer, narrower pouches, and then this one large kind of flat wide pouch. There's one single large strap that runs from these 2 metal rings. You can see on back around, and it is adjustable. All right, moving on from our strap, let's take a look at our first pouch, which is where I keep all of my sockets. I don't have one specific standard or metric set. This is actually an old combination set. It's one of the first socket sets I ever purchased off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description down below if you're interested. It's just a simple combination set made by Neiko. All right, so with this simple combination set of sockets, I can pretty much cover everything down from, let's see, 8mm, or I think, 5/16 all the way up to 1 1/4 or 32mm, and pretty much everything in between. Let's see, I also have some specialty sockets. We have that large 35mm for our front axle. I have a spark plug socket specifically for my Jeep. I think that's a 5/8, I want to say. If you ever changed a unit bearing, you know you're going to need a, what is this, a 13mm 12-point socket. It's nice to have the universal joint on that if you can help it at all. We have a single external E8 bit, which if you've ever done an oil cooler filter housing, you know what that's for. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see everything tucks away pretty nicely inside the pouch. It's kind of organized chaos. I could put everything on a socket rail, but it's been working pretty well like this for a while now, so I'm just gonna kind of let it roll. All right. And let's take a look at our next pouch. Oh man, those birds up in the canyon are going wild. All right, so for our next pouch, you can see we have a combination, these are a little bit of a mess, combination of metric Allen keys, combination of standard Allen keys. You'll notice these are pretty much just cheap Pittsburgh Harbor Freight brand. Most of the stuff in this tool roll is old or cheap, like Harbor Freight style tools. Basically stuff that if I were to lose or if it got stolen, it wouldn't break my heart. You know, I'm not losing like $1,000, you know, $5,000 in snap-on tools in one go. All right, we have our large 1/2-inch socket wrench. Put that right there. There we go. We have 3/4 socket wrench. We have our Harbor Freight 1/4-inch drive with the flex head. Really like that flex head. Okay. Then we basically just have a bunch of extensions. Let me move this. All right, so we have one longer 1/2-inch extension. We have one very long inch. I think this is an 8, this is a 6, and then this is a 2 or 3-inch 1/2-inch extension. We have a 1/2-inch universal. We have about a 6-inch 3/8 extension, about a 3-inch 3/8 extension, and then we have our 3/8 universal. All right, and then I basically just have a set of Harbor Freight adapters. I think I bought these for like $6. You know, 3/8 to quarter, quarter to 3/8, half to 3/8. We have, there's the quarter to 3/8, and then we have a single 1/4-inch, about a 3-inch extension. All right, and then we have an assortment of TORX bits that pretty much cover every common size TORX that you're gonna find on the Jeep JK. And once again, not the prettiest, but you know, it works pretty well. Nice and tucked away. And then our next pouch. We pretty much have an assortment of hand tools. You can see we have some diagonal cutters. We have some long needle nose pliers. We have some regular length needle nose pliers. All right, we have some nippers. Basically, if I need to cut something and just need a lot of leverage, we basically have just a set of channel locks. And then we just have an assortment of box wrenches, which were too long to fit on the back of our roll. We have a 3/4, we have a 17mm, we have our 18mm, and then an 11/16. And here you can basically see everything once again tucked away. I actually still have quite a bit of room to add. All right, pouch number 4, we have our adjustable crescent wrench, the wrench for any job. We have an old beat up large Phillips. We have an old large size flathead. We have an even longer, larger flathead. We have a small Phillips. Let's see, another Phillips. We have a wire brush. Those are always handy. Love these for just cleaning things off, cleaning out threads. Great for anything. We have our little snap-on. This end's a magnet, and then a little mini flathead. I think it's great for lots of things, especially like electrical type stuff. We have my favorite tool in the world, the panel trim removal tool. This thing is great for just about everything. All right. Let's see, then we have the Lifesaver, the long extendable magnet. You must have one of these. And then once again, like I was saying, I just have a bunch of really cheap tools that, you know, I don't care if I lose. It's just a small pick set or a little small pick and all set. These are great to have. These little hooks and picks and stuff, you know, you just never know when you're gonna need these. They're great for everything. This was like $6 on Amazon. I will also put a link for as much of this down in the description as possible. Not the prettiest, but gets the job done. This last 5th or widest pouch is basically kind of my junk drawer, if you want to call it that. Kind of has an assortment of things. Let's see. We have an extra bungee cord. We have a little roll of duct tape. That is the easiest and most compact way to store duct tape. Just roll it on itself. Actually, I have probably like a dozen feet right there. We have one smaller bungee. We have one large control arm bolt. I think I only carry one of those. If I lose more than one, then I don't know. I gotta fix what's really going on at that point. We have one extra track bar bolt, same thing. If I lose more than one, then I mean, it's just not meant to be. Okay, we have some extra wiring. I believe this is 16 gauge. This is good for most general, like small duty type wiring jobs. Small clamp, little C clamp, a little 3-inch. I mean, it's good for all kinds of things. This is a little thing of baling wire. Say you do lose that second bolt. I mean, I don't know how long you're gonna make it, but I mean, you can put a lot of stuff together with this. I've just kind of like coiled it as small and compact as possible. But once again, that's really, really great to have. Let's see, we have some electrical tape, a beat up roll of electrical tape. This is like the junk drawer inside the junk drawer. We have some, gosh, what is that? Like some worm clamps. We have some small zip ties, some small electrical connectors, cotter pins, extra blade fuses, a lighter, extra Zerk fittings. I mean, I think that's pretty much everything. We have caps for the fittings for our hydraulic ram on our PSC system in case something breaks. I think I have some rubber bands in there. I have extra copper fittings for brake lines or those copper washers. Just all kinds of stuff. See Teflon tape because, you know, I run a water system, other things. Let's see, we have some ultra black Permatex, what is this, RTV? There you go. And then an assortment of zip ties. All right, and I think that's it. And yeah, somehow I'm able to fit all that in here. All right. Okay, now let's take a look at the back of our roll. You can see we have our one single strap that runs across the back and then around and holds this all together. We have our two flaps. Really strong Velcro. Okay. You can see there are these individually stitched pouches. On this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is a little bit wider, as is this one. And then on this side, these are pretty much meant for crescent wrenches, or box wrenches, I'm sorry. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. And the stitching goes right through the middle there. So the longest being from right there. And then underneath this flap on the end, we have a large pair of adjustable pliers. Once again, old and beat up, nothing too expensive. Some cheapy Harbor Freight vice grips. They're actually really nice though, I have to say. Okay, next up, we have some simple wiring tools in this pouch. Simple razor or box cutter, good for lots of things. Next one, we have some mini vice grips. These are actually my dad's. He's had those forever. I think these are original Craftsman, made in the USA. These things are pretty old. Pretty cool. Okay, and then I think that's it. I actually have 2 unused pouches. So yeah, not too much, but it kind of covers a little bit of a wider range of hand tools. And once again, going with the theme of this tool roll, we have a cheap set of these Craftsman ratcheting box wrenches. This is a combination set. It's both metric and SAE. I think you can pick up this whole thing. I think I got it for about 75 bucks off Amazon. It's like 18 or 20 box wrenches or something. And I mean, pretty much it's going to cover most of your needs. And once again, you know, it's not expensive snap-on stuff. You know, if I lose one of these out in the trail or it goes missing, I can just buy an individual wrench for like 10, 15 bucks. And yeah, replace anything in here. I mean, you could honestly probably put together this whole set from Harbor Freight for probably, I'm gonna say less than $100. Yeah. All right. So some other tools that I carry that I don't keep inside the tool roll just because they're so large are, one, a very, very large crescent wrench. And this is pretty much, if you have a suspension with adjustable control arms or large jam nuts, this is pretty much my go-to for those big, like, you know, those big rock crawler jam nuts that require, like, you know, 220 foot-pounds. You know, you can just pretty much get this on there or get something on the end and really get some leverage on that. Okay, let's see. Another is a Pittsburgh, just cheapy, $20 on sale, Harbor Freight half-inch drive breaker bar. This comes in handy for all kinds of things. You'll notice that I don't carry an impact or any other type of, you know, electrical tools or whatever. They're really nice to carry. I know a lot of people do. For me, I just use tools so infrequently on the trail that it's not worth carrying all that extra bulk of an impact. Plus, then I have to carry batteries, and then if I want a charger, and then multiple tools, it's just not worth it to me. You know, so that's pretty much my impact right there. And then I think last is this little iCar Pro. I use this with the OBD J-Scan app just to diagnose any problems with the computer. Once again, this was like 20 bucks, really useful. It does a lot of things with the J-Scan app. I'll also include a link in the description down below for this. Then the only other thing that I can really think of is I have some simple air hose and winch controller and other stuff like that. But yeah, more blade fuses, but that's about it.